All right, so pretty crappy start to the round. The first three holes, I was all right. I actually managed to par the first three holes, but really having a hard time concentrating and filming. There's a group ahead of me going a lot slower, and I just knocked my tripod over and put a splinter on my phone for the first time in my 30 years of owning a cell phone. So that's super frustrating. It's like a spider web on the corner. It's not horrible, but it's just annoying as crap. But here I am, hole 4, hit a tree and it bounced into the tee box of hole 5. So I gotta look and see if I can get through here. Looks like I'm gonna have to just lay up. There's a lot of trees and mess. I'm gonna use my mid-range. And just try to rip it through this middle section here. Oh, it actually got through and then hit another tree straight on. I'll take that though. Not an auspicious start. But you know what? These wooded holes are tough. Sometimes you just have to bad reaction. You gotta hit a tree. You gotta get through it. It's part of getting better. Since I am actually kind of grinding here already, I'm gonna make it even harder on myself and start playing the blacks. Throw on the same stable mid-range on an Annie. Get around some trees hopefully. And there's pickers in my way. Ah, hit a tree. All right. This hole is doing what it's supposed to do. Make me furious. Next, so I'm 1, 2 through 3 to here. I believe this is a par 3, and I'm sitting 3, throwing 4. I'm gonna change up disc just for a change of pace. I'm gonna throw the Latitude 64 fuse. Caught a wind gust coming back a little bit. Ooh, a little pass, but not bad. Well, for a relaxing day in the woods, so far it has not been. Struggling to get a double bogey on this hole. It is a tight hole. I just should have made better decisions already. And then from where my disc just landed, there's a little protector tree that makes me Annie it out to try to make it here. I'm going to use the fuse. I'll take that. That's a decent little putt made. Just in the last 2 rounds, my putting confidence has grown a lot. It's because I finally settled on a technique. I'm definitely more of a spin putter than a push putter. I hate standing straight on both feet kind of parallel. It just is not natural, which is fine. Lots of people putt the way I'm putting a little bit more sidearm toss into it than I think I see a lot of the pros do, but maybe someday I'll adjust that. So on to hole 5. And I was just joking about playing the blacks. That was dumb. This is another hole that favors a sidearm. Forehand. I'm going to start referring to it as forehand and backhand like Eagle McMahon does. I like that better. I mean, as a tennis player. Not a great tennis player, mind you, but somebody who's played tennis. All right, so we're hole 5, 270 feet. Goes to the right. Birdieable hole. So the question then is, do I throw it forehand? And I think I'm going to. So the camera's in a bad spot for that, but there's not a lot of flat land around here. I'm going to throw a bit more overstable disc. I'm throwing my lightweight boss sidearm forehand. I ended up kind of getting it to roll on accident. Taping this or recording this is adds an element of challenge to the focus that I was not really ready for. In retrospect, on this hole, I would have made a completely different decision. I would have just thrown an understable mid-range like that Tersis. In fact, I remember last time I played this course, I threw the Tersis like 4 holes in a row. So we got a big dogleg right from here. I'm going to just throw a super overstable disc sidearm from here. Ooh. If they had gotten through that tree, it would have been perfect. I'm going to remember that shot. Put that one in my quiver. That's something I can go back to later. Little high hyzer with a sidearm. On forehand, I should say, with a very overstable disc. That was my Relativity, I believe, with MVP. I've actually been using that disc a lot. It's very overstable. I've been using it for my hyzer shots going way out wide and getting it to spike in. I have not gotten it to turn over yet. I don't throw it hard enough where it'll level out or flex. I just am not there yet, but it's still a useful tool. All right, this is a super muddy stretch of the course. Kind of stinks so far. I remember that from last time. I will say, I live in Livingston County, which is the next county north of Ann Arbor, in a town called, well, I guess technically Brighton or Pinckney. There are 6 great courses within 5 miles of me, and another 5 more miles, so 10 miles, is the Kensington Black Locust course. There's 2 of them. I just played those. Those are fantastic. I look forward to trying to play the D-Glow, the toboggan course next year when they open it back up. That's a miss, but it was close. I'm not mad about it. So that's sidearm, hyzer, missed putt, made putt. So for a 4, should have been a fairly makeable par or even birdieable hole, but I gotta live with the 4. Holes 1, 2, and 3, which you didn't really get on video recorded. There was tight holes that I just threw kind of layup putt. They're shorter. The first hole, I threw 2 off the first, and I took my second shot. But the second and third hole were just straight up pars. Nothing to say about those. So I'm sitting +3 through 5. That's not horrible. From the whites though, so keep that in mind. I'm gonna pause for this. This is a long stretch through the woods here. All right, hole 6, 248 feet. There's a lot of guardian trees through here, a lot. So I'm gonna try to throw a bit of a Annie on a stable driver or stable mid-range to get it to turn left at the end of the straight line there. 248 feet. Not a big run up here. It's all about control. Throwing the fuse again. Ooh, I lofted that. I'm gonna throw another one because that came out of my hand bad. Perfect. Exactly what I was trying to do. Ooh, even got a skip. So very happy with my throw. Still have a tough finish here. I'm gonna throw a stable putter, probably my Link. I'm gonna stretch out, just toss it through those trees best I can. Oh, the lip of that caught on my finger and pulled. I'm gonna throw another disc just as a practice here. I'm gonna throw my anode, MVP anode. This one tends to have a little bit more float to it. Oh yeah, that was a better disc choice. I actually overthrew that one. Much better flight though. I'm finding that putters with deep lips, with deep ridges here, my fingers are catching on them when I go to release, and it's inconsistent releases. I got to be really careful with that. I'm sure that has a lot to do with grip, so I haven't quite figured it out, but I have noticed that my 2 or 3 shallow lip or beaded mid-ranges, I actually have been putting way more consistent with those than my putters. So I'm going to throw for my first putt. Oh, I left that low. Bad putt. All right, so 1, 2, 3. I'm in for 4. That's a disappointing result, actually. I should have played that better based on my tee shot. All right, this is hole number 7, 165 feet. Very tough though, trees everywhere. You should see it from the black. It is so guarded by trees. It's kind of dumb, actually. I think they need to take some trees out personally. But I have yet to figure out how to really throw this hole other than just get lucky. I'm gonna try to throw, actually, I didn't have my zone last time I played this. I'm gonna throw a zone, let it hyzer out a little bit. See what that does. Wind's coming across, so it's gonna affect the hyzer. Ooh, I got through. Hyzering back. Hit a tree. That was actually, oh man, such a good throw. Hitting that tree wasn't the worst thing. I think I'm all right. Getting through that hole was the biggest challenge, and I got it. That was actually a pretty satisfying throw. If it had just missed that last tree, I've had a chance to hit the basket. If you believe me. Here's a guardian. Hills, even these mounds, and it's sitting on top of a picnic table. Kind of a weird hole, super protected the whole way. But there's where my disc landed. That was a tough elevated basket. I feel good about that make. I'm gonna wait for the next group to go. So I have no idea if these shots are working. These shots are working out, or how the lighting is, or any of that stuff. This next hole is hole 8. It's 274 feet. A little bit of a drop, bunch of trees. Last time I played this hole, the wind was a major factor. I don't think it's much of a factor in this one. I think I'm going to throw my Scorch. Just try to get it poked out there 250 or more feet. I'm actually going to take a little break here, get some water, because I've kind of caught up to the group ahead of me. There's a group of 4. They're not playing too slow. They're doing fine. They're on 9 right now, second shot on 9. I'm gonna let them get 2 holes ahead, because 9 is actually a really stupid, tricky hole. Nine is probably my least favorite hole I've ever played. Not only because it's hard, but it's kind of tricked up. It doesn't really make sense. You gotta throw, I think you gotta throw a great forehand, and then unless you're really good, you have to lay up the second shot, and then you have to make a perfect third shot. I'll show it to you when we get there, and then that's just to make par. I don't even think it's a birdieable hole for somebody like me, unless I can throw a bomb forehand. That second shot, you have to clear a bunch of water, like 200 feet of water. It's just like super tricky. It sounds like they did good on it though. All right, let's go throw on 8. Here's hole 8. 274 feet, fairly straight up. Oh, by the way, check out this giant briar patch. These are all pickers everywhere. I swam through that to get my destroyer, my Star Destroyer, and even though it has somebody else's phone number on it, I'm keeping that sucker. They clearly just left it there because they didn't want to get in the pickers. I got bloody spots for it. I'm sorry, I'm not that good of a person, I guess. Actually, in honor of that, I'm going to throw the Star Destroyer. Can't quite get it to flex out, but I can throw a decent hyzer with it. Wow, I lofted it too much. It's going to come down hard left. Man, if I had straightened that out, I'm going to throw one more. I'm going to throw the disc I originally planned on throwing. I got that just a little nose up. Shoot, rip this. Oh, I pulled that right. Well, I gotta go get 2 discs. That sucks. I'm throwing another one. That was pretty good. Dang it. I'm pausing while I go disc hunting. If I hadn't hit this evergreen tree, I would have been right. I would have been parked the way the disc was flying. But as it is, I still have like 30 feet. I learned at Kensington that my Scorch is actually a surprisingly good disc for me to throw forehand. So I'll probably use that on 9 or on 8 rather. I'll show you in a minute. Throwing the link for the putter again here. Oh, just skipped off. That was a really good putt. Decent run. Well, that was stupid. All right, I'm going to throw the sidearm. 9. This is 9. I said 8. This is 9. I'm going to throw the sidearm with the Scorch, see what happens. So let me show you what 9 is. Super tricky hole. So here's 9. It's 460 feet. You got to go out, around, and over. It says there's a Mando. I guess what they're saying is you can't go over the woods, which is, I don't even know how you would hit that shot, honestly. So that's not even a factor for me. So I'm going to just throw sidearm Scorch and then hopefully be close enough where, I don't know. The last time I tried playing this, I lost 2 discs. Super frustrating hole. We'll see. Throw in the Scorch forehand. It was kind of a nothing throw. Just went straight out about 175 feet. I know I got a better throw than that. But I'm going to live with that shot, so I'm definitely laying up on my second. By the way, I've been focused on other things I didn't even notice. I actually birdied 7, which 7 I double bogeyed last time I played it. So I got a new way to play that hole. I lost one of my favorite discs on this hole last time I played it. It's a Japan Open. It's the equivalent to a Valkyrie. It's an Innova stamped, or Innova print. How do you say it? Innova mold. But it's a 156 gram Hero stamped, is what it is. But I lost that in the swamp. I might go get it if I see it. That was a couple weeks ago already. All right, I'm throwing I'm laying it up from here. I got no shot from here. could not have thrown a better layup shot. Perfect where I wanted it. That Link putter disc that I found with no phone number on it has actually been a very valuable disc for me. I've thrown it in a lot of different situations. Now, thing I learned from last time is I was overthrowing on this hole because I was worried about the clearing the water, but it's only about 175 feet. So if I just throw a decent mid-range, probably my fuse should be fine. Oh, that almost hit the basket. All right. So sitting 3, I can make the putt for par, and I didn't have to throw any extra discs. So that really is the way to play this hole for me. I don't know, unless I can. Next time I play this, unless I've developed a much better forehand next time I play this, I think I'm going to throw my Diamond, which is a very understable disc, and just really try to rip it so it'll land right here. That'll give me a chance for birdie for sure. Otherwise, this is an easy par if I play it this way. I got ahead of myself the last time I played this hole. My beautiful green Hero. I bet you somebody else got it. Such a nice little disc. I might bring rubber boots here next year. All right, this is hole 10. This is where things start opening up for a while. Hole 10 is 240 feet. It's pretty much straight on. Almost no obstructions, a couple little trees, but if you throw a good angle. So I'm going to throw 2 discs here as kind of a practice. The wind is, again, southwest. It's almost straight at my face right now. So if I'm throwing into the wind, I want to throw something a little heavier and a little bit more overstable. So I'm going to throw the Scorch first. And again, this is kind of even though I'm keeping score on U-Disc, and by the way, I'm +7 right now through 9. No, +6 because I had that birdie. The couple of these are a little bit experimentational because I'm still trying to figure out different winds, different flights, things like that. So here's the Scorch into the wind, trying to get it to go 250 into the wind basically. All right, I lofted that a little too much. The wind, man, that's really making it pop up. I have no idea where it's going. Oh geez, that was a surprising result. It stair climbed like 4 times. It got up so high it was in the sun, which is like 2 o'clock sun. And then it hyzered down only about 130 yards out, or 130 feet out. So that tells me I need to throw something else. I'm going to throw a more overstable disc on a hyzer and see what that does. A little bit harder. Oh, the wind took that too. Oh boy. So the wind picked it up and just carried it straight across. So the wind's not actually right at my face. It's actually kind of coming across a little bit. That was surprising. All right, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to try throwing the Essence, which is a slightly understable disc, on a slight hyzer. Oh no, that was a too early release. It did start to ante back though. That might have been the throw. It was hard to tell. One more. This is a Maverick. Similar disc. No, 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 no. Total garbage. Okay. So, lesson learned. I think on this, the way the wind's coming in, I think I should have thrown a roller. I think I should have thrown a completely different shot. Get it down on the ground fast, because this wind is way more of a factor than I thought it was going to be. That's disappointing. I got a lot to learn as far as that goes. Well, you win some, you lose some. It took me quite a while to find my MVP relativity. I got it. I had to go through quite a bit of pickers. This hole, which I almost aced last time and picked up a birdie on, has not been fun to me, and the wind is 100% a contributing factor. All right, so that's it's an easy par. I threw for my first hole, for my first disc, and just threw a mid-range up to the net, up to the basket. That part was easy. It's just frustrating not parking it on the tee shot, but the wind was just very confusing. Very confusing. All right, on to 11. Here's my mid-range. Just so you don't think I'm lying. All right, on 11, I actually threw a roller on this hole last time I played it, and I was pretty happy with the result. I'm gonna try that again. The wind's a little bit different this time though. I'm going to use my most understable disc, which is my Diamond. And I'm going to throw it on an ante. I'm going to try to throw it to the left side of the hole and let it roll out. The wind's going to pull it this way. It's just hopefully I get it on the ground before that happens too much. There we go. Oh, the wind's taking it into the brush. Tough. It's not awful. There's maybe a better throw. By the way, I'm going the exact opposite from hole 10. So you'd think it'd be right at my back, but it's actually coming across really hard. Maybe a better throw would be an overstable throw over those trees. I'm gonna try one more. I mean understable. This is an experiment. See, no, it didn't react right. It did not act the way it was supposed to act. That wind is tricky. I guess I threw that slightly flat, or maybe more on a hyzer than anything, and the wind just picked it up and pulled it left, and the wind's actually going left to right. That doesn't even make sense. Oh, back to the drawing board on that. I parred 11. I just threw a little mid-range up to it and then putted it in. This next hole, hole 12, is 553 feet. A little bit of an elevation in the middle. It's just a wide open hole, so I'm gonna just throw something hopefully straight on. Now, I'm going the exact opposite direction as 12 because they stack up this way and this way. So, which means the wind should be coming at our face, but slightly across the fairway. So again, that means I actually need to throw an Anheuser or a side forehand in order to get I want the disc up against the wind. I want nose down into the wind. So I either need to throw an Anheuser throw with like an overstable disc, or I need to throw a sidearm, which right now I just do not have enough power with the sidearm for a hole like this. So I'm gonna throw, maybe I want to use an understable disc on an Anheuser. Be sure to comment in the comments the technique for dealing with this kind of wind. When I checked the wind earlier, it was going to be 10 to 12 miles an hour southwest, which means it's coming from the southwest. And I would say the direction is accurate, but it's probably closer to 15, especially in these open field holes. So I'm going to throw two discs. I'm going to throw an understable disc on an Anheuser and then an overstable disc on an Anheuser and see what we come up with. All right, I'm throwing my Star Destroyer and my Scorch. Star Destroyer first on an Anheuser. It never flexed out. It just stayed going right the whole way. The wind's died, by the way. That's frustrating. I'm gonna just try to rip the Scorch. Oh, wind's gusting up a bit. Oh, I got a really good throw on the Scorch. If it flexes back, I'll be real happy with that. Oh yeah. I outthrew my last time on this hole by 20 to 30 feet just now. Pause it while I search for the Destroyer. Alright, after much searching, I found the Star Destroyer in the tall grass. I still have over 300 feet to go. I probably only threw this last one 255, 260. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Star Destroyer from my spot. Alright, not a bad throw. As an experiment, I'm going to throw this one a little bit more straight on. Yeah, that was the better throw. I should have thrown the roller. Although not much better. Interesting. Alright, so I still have to gain a lot more distance. My upper distance, and that's if everything is perfect, is 300 feet. Really, 260 on most days, especially with some wind. So that's frustrating. I feel like even though I'm not in great shape, I'm very overweight. I have strength. I have a little pop. I'm not like uncoordinated. So I should be able to get the technique down. It's just not efficient right now, but we'll get it. All right, sitting two. I believe this is a par 4. It's a pretty long hole. Got two guardian trees. Wind's coming across, kind of at us and across, like it has been. I'm gonna throw overstable putter the zone to the right of those guardian trees and let it come back. Throw pretty hard too. Oh no, that was too hard actually. That was perfect what I wanted, just a little too hard. I'm gonna do one more version of that. Not as hard. No, that's an understable disc. That didn't work. I'm gonna throw a much more stable disc right through. Wow. I gotta remember that flight. That was awesome. All right. Whole bunch of things I didn't want to happen. Made it hard on myself by being too experimental. Wind's picking up here. Here, I'm going to pause this, finish out the hole. All right, we're on hole 13, 615 feet. This is from the white. Pretty straight on, but narrow. And we got a heck of a wind coming across from left to right. It's going to wreak havoc on my disc. I might just throw 3 short, stable disc throws, just so I don't get in trouble. I got to think about it for a second. Because I want it to turn into the wind. So I guess overstable on a hyzer line matches with what I did last time. Slightly hyzer, baby hyzer with an overstable disc. Now, how overstable? You know what? I'm going to try throwing the destroyer again. If I can get past this tree up here, I think I'll be happy. So I'm throwing the destroyer on a slight baby hyzer. I got wind coming left to right, so it should be hitting this side of the disc as I throw it. Baby hyzer, here we go. I let it get up too high, and it's gonna hyzer out hard. I got past that tree. That was not a good release though. I'm gonna throw one experimental disc. This is a mistake. It's a lightweight disc. Nope. Same thing. I got that way up in the air. Hyzering way out. That almost boomeranged back to me. That was a disaster. Alright, well, still got a long ways to go. Oh, jeez. I'm going to throw this 7-speed Keystone. It's very blunted. I want to see what this does in the wind. I'll throw a sidearm since I don't have a good foothold for. Disaster. Total waste of time. That wasn't bad. Well, I know not to throw this sidearm now. None of that felt comfortable at all. That was a mistake to do in this setting.